Hey people, hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to talk about the new patch for Mongil Stardive, and I'm going to just say this right now. The honeymoon period for this game for me is officially over. I want to sort of talk about some of the problems with this game. I'm going to start off with the equipment system. Obviously we all just got our free affiliate with the login bonus or whatever. Which I mean, she's not really that great. It's sort of a pittance. She's probably one of the worst of the 5 stars, especially in this sort of current season. She might have a good run in another ice season, but right now she's really good for the legendary conquest and conquest, so and a little bit of rift. But let's go into our equipment. So my biggest problem with the equipment system, and I think a lot of people know what I'm about to go into, is basically when you make equipment in this game, you have a chance to roll a substat. Now these can be of like 6 different stats, like all the element resistances, defense, HP, attack, crit rate, and crit damage. Generally, you want to roll attack, crit rate, and crit damage, as the main barrier for endgame content is damage. But as you can see here, despite rolling this equipment piece about, like so many times, I've only rolled 2 with double attack stats, and attack's the worst of the 2. As you can see here, this is pretty awful. And as we go in here again, and as we go here, I was yet again unlucky. That's not getting into the shoes, and I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm about to talk about, but basically there are 4 classes in this game: destroyer, support, fighter, and assassin, if I remember off the top of my head. And basically every single pair of shoes that you have has a chance to be of one of these 4 classes. And so basically this whole substat debacle is completely like doubly or triply or quadruply as worse in this. And as you can see here, I'm going up this entire, like, look how many shoes I've made without a single fighter attack stat. And it's like just utterly ridiculous. And you might be like, oh, you must be able to salvage some of these resources. No, you cannot. Thankfully, these equipment are not that expensive for me to invest into, but it's so annoying. And you might say, I see some crit right there, I see some crit right there. This is an assassin, and there's no ice assassin in the game, and that'll come up later on. Now, this gets doubly egregious when we get into our legendary mats. As you can see here, I've rolled some decently good legendary armor here, but the way that you get legendary armor is by doing conquests, and the rates of these armor pieces are abysmal. They're ridiculously low, and another big part of it is, say you do roll that double crit stat or whatever, there's no telling that you're not going to roll just shit other substats, right? Because when you first get the equipment, you only see 1 substat, but that can just grow into something fucking horrible. So yeah, it's ridiculous. In terms of the conquest as well, it's good when you're like going up, when you're doing the levels and you're beating monsters and stuff like that, but once you beat this, it's basically a login in a few seconds and done, right? Very dead in-game content once it's over. Thankfully though, like, a good thing about this is it's of a diverse cast of elements, which I'm going to bring up later. But next up is the dimensional rift, right? Now, you're going to notice that basically every one is in ice. So like if I roll here, and why is that? It's because the limited pool character is ice. So they want you to build an ice team, right? So let's not forget, like, for the past month or so, there's been no endgame content in ice. But now you need to build an ice team. Last season it was fire, and the season before that was wind. So you had to put all your investment into these teams to get to a certain point just to switch it up, right? Which is fine, it's fine, we need to pass on. To get the best score, like the best rewards from this, you want 3 million, right? But the limited pool character gives you a 35% bonus increase in your points, which is basically enough to, like, guarantee rewards, full rewards at like 18, right? Without much effort, right? But without that character, you're sort of fucked, because the bonus characters are always shit. So Ophelia is probably the worst ice character. No, well, not this. I forget what this character's name is, but this character is probably the worst ice character. But you need to use them because you get a 10% bonus. And these two characters aren't even ice characters. But no, they get a bonus for some reason. And Liho is debatably one of the worst fucking characters in the game. In terms of, like, the limited banner pool character, probably the strongest character in the game, and there's been, like, a pattern of this. Every character has been stronger. Mina was stronger than Ether, and this character is degrees stronger than Mina, with less investment. So, say you wanted to, like, you pulled into Mina and Esther thinking that they were good. Well, fuck you, buddy. This character is just leagues stronger than those two. And you want her weapon too. So it's literally, like, you're so pressured into pulling the limited banner character because you need to get that endgame content. You're free to play as well. You're not getting that kind of, like, the stats needed to clear the rift. And yeah, so you're really pressured into doing this. And then in terms of teams, right? So basically you need to build ice. And before that you had to build fire. And before that you had to build wind. Wait a minute. Why is there an earth character there? Well, there's only earth healers. There's no healers in any of the other elements. There's no sustain in any of the other elements. And that's sort of a big problem, because all of the teams are built around mono element. There's no reason to use off element characters in other elements, because they're all synergized to boost. There's no bonus from fire into ice, and no bonus in the earth into fire, etc. and stuff like that. So a lot of the team comps are fairly restrictive on what you should be building. A lot of the elements don't have all the classes. There's no ice assassin. There's no wind like destroyer. No wind fight. Oh, I think there's a wind fighter maybe. There's no fire support. And the list goes on. I think the only one that's fairly, well, not Earth doesn't have an assassin. There's no lightning support, and we'll get into Earth and lightning in a second. So, to diversify the endgame, we now have this endgame mode where we can split our teams into 3 and, like, do this, like, endgame boss, which is weak to wind, ice, and fire. But guess what? They're resistant to earth and lightning. Now, say you built mono earth, right? There's literally no endgame content as well as mono electricity for you to play. And not only that, it resists you. So fuck you, buddy, if you fucking rolled Gabby by accident, and fuck you, buddy, if you rolled Penny. You should have been rolling Flare and fucking I don't know, like Ophelia, etc. You know, or G1, right? Which you're gonna struggle against this boss if you don't roll those characters. So what I'm saying is, it's like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, you don't have to like rush anything. You don't have to like, you know, just get one good team and spread it out. Well, look at this, buddy. Like, you need 3 fully leveled teams, and they're all scuffed because there's no classes for all of them, you know. Another thing is the paths, right? Everyone's probably saying, oh, we get rewarded so much from the paths, we get so many keys and stuff like that. Well, this is just sort of hiding the problem that the path system gives you fuck all. It gives you fuck all. Like, every single one of these, it says you have a chance of rolling a legendary or whatever. You will not roll anything. Like, the rates in this thing are absolutely horrendous. I spent like 1,500 like today, and I have like shit all to show for it. It's ridiculous how low the rewards are for these. I'm kind of hoping they'll unlock a new one, but I don't keep my fingers crossed, you know what I mean? And a lot of people say like, oh, you just log in, do your conquest and your paths, and you log out. Well, to be honest, if you're wanting to keep up, you're wanting to like complete the monster codex, you're wanting to do requests and stuff like that, which take a long fucking time. Like, you need to go up here, you got to roll it. So thankfully I rolled like okay. And but see, going to these monsters, the teleports don't take you directly to them, and there's a long walk to each of them, and there's like a set amount of boss monsters per day that you want to kill every day. And another big thing is, to do the endgame content, you want to cook, right? You want to cook like these like purple like foods. Well, like, you can only like collect a certain amount of spirit mushrooms per day, and it's really like a really limited amount. So you want to be like collecting the spirit mushrooms every day. And the problem with that is, currently, if we go here, so we go here, there's some spirit mushrooms here. Just wait. Notice something? Yeah, there's a bug right now that prevents us from picking up resources. And that's getting into my last topic for the evening, which is the monsterling system. Yay. So, every single time you roll a monsterling, you have a chance of rolling a gold, right? Okay, that's not bad, right? So, originally there was no way to search for these golds, right? But now we can, which is epic, right? Now, when you roll a gold, you have to go down this list individually, one by one, and find each individual gold that you roll, right? And as you can see, it takes a lot of fucking time. So I rolled one recently. Amazing. But yeah, no, it's a pain in the ass. And once you get gold, you can sort of fuse them into a monster you want. But yeah, that sort of hits on another problem. Like 90%, look at these rank effects, right? 90% of these effects on these monsters are utterly, completely fucking useless. Like they involve getting hit, or they're like so niche that it's like 90% of these are complete fodder. They really didn't like spend their time and try and give some of these monsters interesting rank effects where they're all useful. There's about a dozen or so with effects that have any use in gameplay. And it's worst of all when they have a link chain effect, which link chain effects you want like high resist reduction, but they'll have like a really shit rank effect connected to it, right? So like that's kind of annoying. But yeah, like having to search your gold skills and locking them and fusing them is a pain in the ass. But basically, because of the way that the gold like traits system works or whatever, like basically every mon can have a gold trait, right? So technically the game encourages you to fucking farm every mon every day, which I've been told takes up to 3 hours, and I know people are doing this. Like I've seen them discuss it in the game. It's like it's so absurd. Like, so people are saying like, oh, dailies only take like 15 minutes or 5 minutes. Dude, it takes like minimum like an hour. And then when I see the discussion of this game, they're all like, oh, it's only 15 minutes. Dude, it takes way more time than you think. Way more time. Just to do basic things like cooking. And another double thing about this is the monsterlings currently also have a bug where they don't drop. They just don't drop, and you have to reload to check over them. So that 3 hours becomes another fucking hour, you know? And I know a lot of people are like, oh, they all die in one hit, so who cares? Some of them don't die in one hit, and I'm on in-game, and some of them don't die in one hit for me. So like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, right? But yeah, so this is just my little rant about Mongil Stardive. I think that this game has like a lot of problems. There needs to be like some kind of auto lock system for like gold trait monsterlings. Because, right, so we go to the monsterling bag, right? So you have a cap of 3,000. Despite, right, when you do this, it says ignore monsterling bag capacity auto capture, right? So if you don't have the auto capture, you have to manually capture it, and there's the bug, and it says like, ignore monsterling bag capacity. But guess what? See, if you have over 3,000 monsterlings, which you're constantly going to be at if you're farming them for the gold traits, you cannot do any of the modes in the game. You can't do paths, you can't do conquest. You're effectively locked out of progression, and the only way to like reduce them is to batch combine like combine 100 monsterlings, right? But this is why you need to lock all those gold traits, because you could end up fucking some of your gold traits, and this costs like a substantial amount of money. So say that you have over 3,000 and not a lot of money. Well, you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to combine to reduce your monsterling capacity to do paths to earn money to combine. So you can sort of soft lock yourself to a degree until the next day. It's just, there's so many design choices about this game that just boggle the mind. But yeah, this has just been my rant. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao. Let me know if I'm crazy. Let me know if I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah.